All right, so I want to hear about everyone's imaginary friends. Well, like those who had them. So I had a lot of imaginary friends growing up. 80 was my number one. She lived under my kitchen table with her grandmother. 80 kilometers Jingle Bells, that was her full name. Then there was Boo Boo and Gaga, who lived in the washer and dryer, and Terry, who I met at the grocery store, but they spelled their name with a Y, not like my sibling who spelled Terry with an I. So it was different. And I'm sure I had many more, but those were like, the ones that I still remember. And I think one of my favorite parts about my journey with my imaginary friends is there technically wasn't a time where I stopped believing in them. There was just a time when I realized that I was kind of too old to have them, or that I didn't need them anymore. I kind of like the idea of that one a little more. And I created a whole story specifically with 80. I think I just kind of let the others go, but 80, there was a full goodbye, there was a backstory. Her parents were world-renowned travelers. That's why she lived under her kitchen table with her grandmother, right? And when I became old enough to no longer need her, she was also old enough, to go join her parents traveling the world. So she was taking off to go find them in order to join them. And, I had a whole goodbye party and everything. And I think there were a couple more times after that when I was just by myself at my grandparents, needed something to do. And we had a couple little reunions after that. And then it just kind of fizzled away and she stopped coming to visit. But one of the other things that I think is very interesting is I don't have a visual mind at all. So at no point have I ever visualized any of these imaginary friends. I had full backstories for them. We talked together for sure. I really attribute a lot of the development of some of my social skills, if you would call them that, comes down from practicing with my imaginary friends. But again, I never saw them. And whenever I saw TV shows like Arthur, where DW could see her imaginary friend when others weren't there and she would disappear, it never kind of dawned on me that other people with imaginary friends could actually really see them. I just kind of thought of that as, oh yeah, well, it's TV and it's a show, and then learning that people have visual minds and that there really are people out there who can see a bunch of stuff. So I am just so curious. I want to know all about your imaginary friends. If you have pictures, I want to see them. If you know what they looked like and you just want to tell me a description, I just want to know about everybody else's journeys with imaginary friends.